In the hearts of many communities in the Tyne district, Asunafo North, Sunyani West, and Sunyani East municipalities, life unfolds as usual. Markets open, farmers till the land, children commute to school. But behind these everyday hustlings lie unseen battles, wounds that linger, stigmas that isolate, and dreams overshadowed by diseases too often forgotten. These are once upon a time active men and women and breadwinners, but now living with skin-related neglected tropical diseases or skin NTDs such as Buruli ulcer, yaws, onchocerciasis, and lymphatic filariasis.
I am Emmanuel Jesse Jackson Sarkodie, a project coordinator for Global Media Foundation. We are embarking on a project called Community Integration and System Strengthening Against Skin-Neglected Tropical Diseases.
Neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, are a group of communicable diseases that mainly affect poor and marginalized communities in tropical regions. They are called neglected because they receive little global attention, yet they cause significant suffering, disability, and social stigma.
The project has this aim of, ensuring that people with neglected tropical diseases have a better life. So the goal of this particular project seeks to, subsidize the effects of neglected tropical diseases which affect the marginalized community. This project is funded by an NTDs Foundation and is being assisted by the lead partner, which is Team Africa Aid Ghana and Global Media Foundation.
Skin NTDs are preventable, treatable, and yet, when ignored, they destroy lives. Skin NTDs attack more than the body. They strip away dignity, limit education, destroy livelihoods, and erode mental health. They thrive in silence, in villages where health services are distant, and stigma keeps victims behind closed doors. Behind every diagnosis is not a statistic, but a person. A child missing school, a farmer losing income, or a mother hiding her pain. Their suffering is preventable, yet too often invisible. Meet a 19-year-old Vera Boachua from Biabraso in Tyne district. Vera is suffering from elephantiasis. Her journey began with a small sore. She thought it would heal, but it didn't.
I didn't try me. I didn't try me. I did this song and a try me. Not a year cool, until a year cool me, I know. A drew baby number who said, Ebe shame so, men we. 2 ways so.
She lost the courage to attend school due to stigma from society. Fear and shame kept her hidden for so long.
Drew baby, me kwana amount for him, sir. No, I'm not to almost so. And almost to almost so. A drew baby swam enough for so drew baby now come and no more pam me. And I'm uncle. Until
help finally came from NTDs, Team Africa Aid Ghana and Global Media Foundation, who built her capacity emotionally, socially, and economically. Now, Vera Boachua is no longer afraid of any stigma. She is able to come out every morning to do household chores. Through the financial aid from NTDs, Vera Boachua has enrolled herself in a vocational training in her community. That is not all. She is now accepted by all her community members, and as a result, they patronize her fried eggs business at night. Vera Boachua's story echoes across the entire Tyne district, Sunyani West and Asunafo North, where hundreds have walked the same path, yet their courage speaks louder than their scars. At Canada, a suburb of Chira near Sunyani, a purposeful woman has defied the emotional traumas, social stigma, and the pain of carrying lymphatic filariasis to face life like any other woman in the community.
Yo, fa. Mpacho. Ayi nsase no. Onna na me mo me bra ye kan nsase me kwa waja. Jana mko waye nti me waye na kuma to par me na bo me na ho kakira bi. Nyese ha na aye abuka mu aka obehu ba bi akuma ne bo nti aboye no na ese akuma nso nyanam nti ma antwa ho no ama mo je na nya da amfirim nti ma fanya asam nti akire na na kyese ho no asase saye me ya na me de ko hospital nti me de ko ye no o mu amnduru kama ewo mpane ama me ba ya ma na me na ye atwitwi kura me na to so abaye afi etu fie mienu na asan asase kam to ho no mo se bia buro kumani amtema antwa ma moje na mfiri bia buro ye de ana wo so nte menya den me san fa nko na me de koy nte me de koy o mo san hwe me amamnduru nte fitase de eya na so atwetwe kura aye no makama pa nte akire na afede kura abaye ntema nko kura na adenka kranka ne ekọ musuko ha ni kodri ya papa bi ko ye ore ha ya duro nam traso nte oba yi nduro ni bi o so buruburu musama yankosiaga.
In spite of her condition, Mame Georgina Apewe, a 41-year-old woman, has not given up on her farming and domestic activities. She does normal house chores. Out of curiosity, the crew followed Mame Georgina to her farm, the source of her livelihood. However, given the in-depth knowledge acquired, she is very mindful of keeping her affected legs safe to avoid further triggers. Neglected tropical diseases thrive in neglect. Ending them begins with attention and action. Decision makers must listen, invest and integrate NTD services into primary health care, not as a side program, but as a permanent national priority. These are also victims that have been affected by NTDs over the years.
I'm patrolling for saying. Intimate won't fear with you. Now, a ban is saying, Ubia, we are with Juma, we are queer, a ban is saying, Nafi or 9 days. Say,
Namen, the Yajma, a woman I did not ban enemy 9 on honey, a woman I saying so, and I know a woman I call Nasamba. This a basin feeling a buy and and send them got his face and I acquire a woman as I buy. This a me a hair.
A year being fierce in pain, a chassis, being fierce in.
Basin fear, dear, and a year and so by. And it me qua base if you and I say Nasamba. She said, dear, by Ejacassi, no. A basin fear me and son.
Christiana Essa.
This is one I'm a co school. I'm a blue Peter. Peter and Moana, me once Minasa Pija. And the same yes, I'm catching Mamma and Papa. Almost went to me and me who you may be. And I do a while, dear, me dear, oh, member.
Tonight, I will name a dim fear saying no.
A check. Young mamma and papa, Demi, Coco, beautiful. Mumuteteso. Near Chichery. Yeah.
And it's see out to Sena, a muyo, a phone nipper, Diamina, Sena.
Say, and my dear Yamia. The buy and dear in Munuyamia. About 9 on corner, can I nipper do any account? 9 on corner. None on corner. Now, Mipacho, young share, bra, a chassis, and when I'm watching Yana Munya Bruno, Sena Brabonso, na Esitiamon. I'm Brabo, dear, Medidini, dear, maybe I meet me. A cracker. There's a bad year, and you meet me. The 9 tea, a mamma do my you must sit him, my brabum, a coffin. 9 tea. Then my crowd was me in 19 but jam.
If I show not the back crew would see me, I am Suha. And number 90 send a chromophone. They see a whom say no, see no tear.
The almost limit and say, and I'm say, 1970, a bison family. A be intimate the same say. On 19 papa. I'm so being a mere 7. But I'm not my rabble. And so I'm meeting my dean.
From Sunyan, the crew moved straight to Ahafo region, specifically Ayomsu in the Asunafo North municipality, where a number of NTD cases were profiled. Emilia Sewa, a mother of 4 children, highly devastated by chronic lymphatic filariasis. Emilia was abandoned by her husband due to her chronic condition. Now totally regulated to remain within the confines of her small corridors, she barely moves or works to earn a living. As if that is not enough, Mary's room rent is due and she is expected to vacate in few weeks. Due to her condition, her first daughter, Mary Echan, 16, has now assumed the responsibility of fending for her sick mother and 3 other younger siblings. They sacrifice their classes hours to accompany local farmers to weed, carry cocoa seeds, or fetch firewood to sell every morning to get food on the table for the entire household. On a bad day when there is a heavy rain or no farmer is ready to hire any of them, the family is forced to sleep on an empty stomach or relies on divine providence. Several NTDs clients like Mary, 80 years, still face significant challenge in managing their conditions Mary is not able to visit the health center for treatment for a long time due to financial constraints. The crew quickly took her to the nearest health facility, purchased all the required items for her treatment, but this is not sustainable enough.
And but na bibia water mena I water kiti moja kola ache.
In towns and villages, community volunteers trained under the project are the real foot soldiers in the fight against NTDs. They knock on doors, identify early cases, and connect people to healthcare. With much passion and dedication, they walk miles so that others can heal.
I'm Glomef, Disease Control Officer at Iom's Health Center in the National Fund of Municipality Ahafo region. So the care for clients who suffer from these diseases generally in the service is really low. This is to the fact that most times these people economically, they are not even stable. They don't have that economic muscle, they don't have the finance to even transport themselves from wherever they are located to the nearby facilities. And then also the drug of choice needed to treat these diseases, most of the times you do not get it on time. I will call for livelihood empowerment, because these kind of diseases, most of them, they can only be managed, they are not easily treatable. For example, elephantiasis. When the person is diagnosed of LF, the medications that we give, it is expected that the microfilaria, it will suppress their growth. That doesn't mean the person is going to totally heal from the LF. We teach personal hygiene aside the medication we give them to suppress the microfilaria growth. But then there is a social stigma attached to this disease, and so people who are affected normally, financially, they struggle.
I'm Teresa Kra, the Municipal Director of Health Services, National Fund of. I plead that there should be political commitment to bring transformational change. So if the government could also add them to the National Health Insurance scheme, it will be better for them. Because looking at it, it's a chronic condition. Because if somebody is having leprosy, you don't cure and say you have fear. Most of them are being identified when complications have already set in. And then the treatment takes a very long time. So most of them don't have any work doing. Some drop out of school, Others too are elderly and they can't do any gainful work. So once they are enrolled into the national health, at least they can be taken out, and it will pave way for those who are hiding to also come out boldly, since government has taken up. And then the need for also the NGOs to also help invest into this NTDs, so that we will all wage war against NTDs, so that we will prevent them, because they can be prevented. But once it's not prevented, we manage them. And in managing, you don't just use 1 month, 2 months, say you are managing. It's a whole lot, because we need to manage them, establish them, so that we sustain the gains that we have made. At least some people can be engaged in some work that can also help them sustain their families.
Yeah, my name is Isaac Kobna Kakwebi. I'm the Executive Director for Team Africa in Ghana. I know NSVAD have done very well. I applaud them for the work that they have done, and I assure them that all that the support that they've granted us, there's value for money. It is actually reaching the affected people. And so I praise them, and we'll continue to work with them very hard. And our partners too, we will not leave anyone behind. We will continue to, though we have challenges, we will not let the challenges be a blockade of our collaboration.
The Community Integration and System Strengthening Project is making huge impacts. Recovered survivors are now farming, children back in schools, families reintegrated, but more support is needed to empower and elevate affected clients and their immediate households. This is what hope looks like: a child returning to school, a farmer harvesting again, a woman accepted by her community once more. When we act, lives are not only saved, they are restored. NTDs may be neglected, but the people affected are not. Together with compassion, commitment and support, we can restore dignity, rebuild lives, and ensure that no one is left behind.